I asked if we're gorgeous. Jimmy said this is as good as he's
Good as
gonna
we're
get.
getting right now.
Oh, and I got my shirt on, B. Anyway, Jimmy's got a rant.
I have a huge rant. Okay, so I'm working about an hour and a half away from home from the house. Outside in the sun, on a roof, sheeting it and everything. So I know it's my job, and I always say I'd rather be hot than cold, which I would. I'm not complaining about the heat. Actually, my boss showed up today, and he's like, "You all right up there?" And I'm like, "It's 50 degrees up here." And he's like, "No, it's not." And I go, "In here it is." And he's like, "All right, well, you're the one that says you like it hot." I'm like, "Yep." So, of course, working all day. I'm an hour and a half away from home. So I was coming here, which means I take a different way. I take, 696. Normally I get off at Mount.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone knows, but I get off at Mount. It's like a halfway
Well, we got
between here.
subscribers that live in Michigan.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like halfway between here and 94, so I can just cut over to my house because it's faster. But I took 94
But
this time.
next year it won't be.
Next year what?
When you move.
Oh, no, next year I'll have to take 94 the whole
Yeah.
way. So I'm dealing with idiots the whole way, and it's only been this week. I'm not going to act like I've been this way my whole life because I've been the screaming, guy. I decided since I'm so far away, I'm going to be calm. I'm not going to, when I get home, I get home. Whatever lane I'm in, I'm just going to stay in it. If I have to switch every
Right.
once in a while, but I'm not going to be like I normally am where I'm, all over the place.
Slack
I'm going to be
bars.
calm. And it was yesterday completely the best ride I've ever had. Like, it was an hour and a half, but I was like, I had no stress.
So you're time to yourself.
I just sat there and thought to myself. So today, same thing. Get all the way to 94 and 696. So now I'm coming, and I see the car. You know how there's two lanes going into 696?
But then they always the one.
But then the 11-mile one comes in.
Right.
I was stopping at the 12-mile. I had to get gas.
Yeah.
So I was in that right lane, which is, I'm correct, because I stay in that lane until
Right.
it turns into 12-mile. So I look, and this car is flying, like, down the merge lane. And I'm looking in my mirror, and I'm like, there's nobody behind me. What is this lady doing? So
How'd you know it was a lady?
Because she was right next to me, waiting for the story to end.
Okay.
So she gets next to me, and I don't know what it is. It just clicks in me. I'm like, oh no! Now the normal Jim clicks in. So I'm like, you aren't getting in. Have you seen this truck? I'm not worried about it. It's bigger than your little Ford Taurus. So I'm like, we're going back and forth, and I didn't let her in to the point to where she went on the shoulder around three people to get in front of them, right?
Oh, wow.
And she's getting off at 12 mile. You could have got behind me 30 times.
Yeah.
And she had to be like right there. So we get up to the light, and now I'm back to, I'm calm.
Yeah.
So she leans out the window, and she's just screaming away, right? So I lean out the window. I go, excuse me, I didn't hear you. What was that? Which, sent her into a bigger rage. She's like, you don't know how to drive. That's the merge lane. You're supposed to let people merge, blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, did you see the 30 car length behind me that you had to pull in? Not to try and get, whatever, you just making excuses. I'm like, yeah, have a good day. So I sit back, and now she gets caught at the light. So now she's yelling even more, but I'm just sitting back, and I'm laughing at her basically. And so then her girlfriend goes to get out of the car. So she gets out of the car and starts walking, and I just, did one of these, don't even,
Oh, she was walking to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so, I looked at her and I went, and she stopped seeing me, got back in the car screaming, and she took off. I got gas. But I'm thinking, I dealt with you idiots for an hour and 15 minutes now. Do you think I'm going to deal with you? This is I've had my...
Yeah. I've done that. I always hate that, your dad's one of those people. It'll say the lane ends in 1 mile. Or lane ends in 5 miles.
Right.
Okay. Lane ends in 3 miles. He's still going. Lane ends in 1 mile. He's still going. Lane ends in 100 feet. He's still going.
I will usually start between, when I know, where it ends, I'll start 2 miles. I'll start looking
right.
I'm going to come in.
No, your dad
I won't
waits,
go all the way to the end.
Your dad waits to the very last minute. And one time, that same thing was happening, and we were going, Denise and I were going somewhere, and I was driving. It was my car. And the guy was coming over, and I kept going I wasn't going to let him in. Because,
Right.
you can get behind me. There's plenty of room behind me, but don't think you're getting in
That's
front
exactly
of me.
how this lady was.
Get behind me. And he kept coming and coming, and it was to the point that Denise could touch the car. It was so close. And she says, oh my God, Sandy, what if he has a gun? I says, you'll get shot.
You'll get shot first.
So finally, I finally just let him in because it was like, he was going to scrape my car, and it was just, I don't know, it's just, well, see, people have had a whole year that they haven't been driving. A lot of people.
What I have
So-
noticed though was 94 used to be like if you were doing 75, you were flying.
Right,
And then you got onto 696 and you did 8590. Same thing with
the Autobahn.
same thing. Yeah, same thing with 75. You got
Yeah.
on there and you were going fast. I don't know if something's wrong with my speedometer, but I'm looking down and I'm like doing like 93, and I'm not even like.
No, I think people are driving way faster because I went to the dentist last week and I thought I was going at a pretty good clip, and I looked down and I was going 90.
Yeah,
But I was keeping up with traffic.
That's what I was doing. I'm keeping up with traffic.
I wasn't in the fast lane. I was in the middle lane.
That's what I'm saying.
I
I
know.
looked down and I'm like 95, and I looked around like
I know,
I
and,
am.
and people in the fast lane,
and they're just.
I think it's because people haven't been driving in a year and they forgot what it's like. Because
I know. I think it's because they think the police aren't going to pull them over because of the whole COVID thing.
Oh, that could
But
be.
I got
too.
news for you.
Oh, no,
I've seen people pulled over.
They're all over the place. The
Yeah.
police, they're everywhere. They were waiting by the four-way stop up here. I spotted them though. They can't get me. I always stop for the four-way stop. I don't make like.
Not always. Sometimes we take out the four-way stop.
No, that wasn't a four-way stop. It was just a regular stop sign.
Yeah, but you didn't stop for it. You
I know,
went
but
right through it.
I slid. No, I slid and went into the stop sign.
You did.
I had the right of way because I was on a busy street turning.
And the
out.
best part was
I turned my phone
when me and Dad made fun of her because she called the police like, "Oh, it was me." And I'm
I
like,
know. It's like
"Well, I would never do
it was
that.
by a school zone. It was like.
You didn't hurt anybody, and it wasn't your fault. So why would you even call?"
Well, I wanted to make sure that the sign got back up before school got out because they didn't want anybody. Of course,
And
most
was
people.
the sign up?
Yes, it was. It went right back. It went right back up. They called right away because it was like probably about 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning, and it was up by 3 o'clock when the kids got out of school.
Yeah, I would have never called.
It was out. It was definitely out. Well, Christy got bad news. She's got to go back into the office in September. I know.
Well, Samantha got good news.
What?
I guess if you can call it good news. She asked, "When are we going back to the office?" And they're like, "This is working out fine. I don't think we're going back to the office. Plus, we wanted a smaller office anyway, so we're just going to get rid of these."
Oh, see, that's what Christy was hoping for.
Yes, she's the opposite. She was
Yeah.
like, "I don't want to go to the office. I don't," because she's sitting at home like, "Oh, okay, now I'll go clean this, and now I'll go back to work. And
Right.
now I'll do that. Everything bugs her, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta clean this now."
See, Christy said that when she's working at Boston Market, the people, because in Michigan you don't have to wear a mask in some businesses.
Some places, yeah.
But some businesses still require a mask. Boston Market doesn't require a mask anymore.
Oh, they don't.
That you can just come in without a mask. So she said the people that come in without a mask, she feels are the ones that aren't vaccinated. So she stays away from them. She says, because so many people are wearing masks, and she says, and I know those are the people that are vaccinated. Which, I wear my mask wherever I go. And I'm vaccinated. If I'm outside, because we went to a flower market today, and it was outside. So I didn't
Right.
wear my mask outside. Because, but if I came close to somebody, I had my mask right there to put on. Because
That's true.
I don't trust that people are, actually getting vaccinated that don't have their masks on. You don't know, so
That's true.
we'll see if the number but this is like the weather that you don't really have to worry about it because they always say that in the summer the germs they don't thrive as much as in the winter.
Oh,
So
and I know we're not supposed to get political on the channel, but I did see a funny meme that while I'm thinking, because I'll forget.
Okay.
I don't know. I might even send it to you. It says, "I don't know about you, but I could sure go for a mean tweet and some cheap gas right now."
yeah, I sent you the thing about the gas.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I sent you a thing like in 2018. Everybody was complaining.
Oh
that
yeah.
gas
Did you look at the
prices were-
bottom? That was false.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It said right on the bottom.
No, it didn't. I resourced my.
You might want to resource it again because when I read it, it said it was false.
Yeah, I think he put that in there. False. No, that might have been the next article because it was true or false. The article, true or false, true or false.
Oh, it's possible. Either way.
My favorite, this last political thing, but my favorite thing is, and I don't even know what state he represents, But the one guy, and it was even on Fox News with Chris Wallace, because Chris Wallace even showed the same clip on his, what's the name of his show on Sundays? I don't know if it's just Chris Wallace or Fox News.
No, it's Sunday evening. Meet the Press.
No, Meet the Press that's liberal.
It's Sunday morning something.
Yeah, with Chris Wallace.
Yeah.
But anyway, he showed the clip of that one guy that was saying, like if you didn't know that the January 6th was the day of the insurrection, you would think it was just a normal tour of people visiting the Capitol. And then right next to it is showing like they're banging out the windows and they're climbing through the things and all that. And I mean, even Chris Wallace and Fox News showed that. So yesterday, was I watching? I think it was Fox News. I watch Fox News and I watch Meet the Press and I watch George Stephanopoulos. I do watch, those are the three political shows that I do watch. But I forget which one it was. But the guy that says, if you didn't know any better, it was just blah, blah, blah. They show him with the police pushing the desks up to the door so that they couldn't get in. I'm thinking, well, if it's just a regular tour, why are you pushing a desk up, keeping the tourists from coming in?
Well, I think no matter what side you're on, I think from here on out they have to. I don't know if they do it already. But I think whatever your group is, if you want to have a protest or a march or anything, I think you need to carry liability insurance for damages.
Oh, I think so too.
That should
I
be.
agree.
I don't care what side you're on. If you
I
want
know,
to do
because
this,
you got to get a permit to protest anyhow. So
and you shouldn't get one unless you're going to be able to pay in case
for the damages because there's always every group has idiots.
And I'm not saying it's going to be that group that's doing it. It could be the opposite side
coming to show up.
But you still,
then
you're inviting it. So,
but arrest them then. But anyway.
So
Jimmy got here just in time today because
working all day, driving an hour and a half. Can you help me bring my cushions?
I was bringing the cushion. We put them in the base. Last year the year before
you got a shed right there.
No, but did
20 feet away.
Your dad's got so much stuff in that shed, and it's a small shed. It really is a small shed.
I think when it cools off, I'll build you a special shelf just for that crap.
That might work. Because
it's going to work.
Well, see, last year when I took all the cushions down, I just threw them down the basement, and then when I got down to the bottom, then I stacked them neatly. But when I went to carry them up, I didn't want to fall. My number one.
Why you carried any of them up.
My number one plan is so I was carrying them up 2 at a time, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There's got to be 25 of them.
At least 25, 30.
Yeah, at least cushions, because we have lots of seating arrangements around.
She got 2 of them up, though.
No, I didn't. I got this chair done and one part of that cushion there.
Okay, sorry, 3.
I got 6 cushions up, and I was only bringing them up 2 at a time.
You should have just waited for me to get here. I'd have brought them all up.
Well, no, I was trying to get them up so that you didn't have to be worried about it. I was actually going to call David and ask David to come over, because I know he would have.
No, he would have.
David would have come over. But I wanted to get them up because I'm trying to get my deck. And then I was talking to my neighbors, and they have an above-ground garden, and they had some extra plants, and so they gave them to me. So I planted 2 kind of tomatoes, a Roma tomato and a slicing tomato, and then 3 cucumber plants and a green pepper and a red pepper.
I seen a cool garden that I'm going to make. It's not going to happen until the following year after the house is built because I got enough crap going on. And well, Samantha will know by now. So
listen up, Samantha.
Yeah. So it's basically a raised bed garden, but
that's what they has next door.
But it's covered.
Oh,
it goes all the way, like the posts go up 8 feet out of the ground the whole way around, and then there's like a lot of I'm talking her waist high because she's only 5 foot.
Yeah, she's short.
So it'll be all the way around. So there's no get on your knees. It's all.
Well, that's what they did. That's what Jason was saying next door. He says that I don't want to have to weed getting down. And I said, well, you going to plant some strawberries? And he just kind of looked at me and he go, I would, but the birds love the berries. And I said, oh, that's right, they do, don't they? I said, but you know what? You don't have any bugs, do you? And he says, no, I got to tell you, we don't have very many bugs.
Nope, you don't.
He says, but we're not going to have any berries either.
You're not going to have a lot of stuff with those little flying rats going around.
No, my birds are nice. They're really cool. I like my birds.
Yeah, I couldn't think. I was going to think about it last night, but I laid in bed and fell right asleep. I was like, oh, I'm going to grab some pictures. Maybe we'll.
Jimmy's getting old.
I am getting old. Did I tell you about my bald spot? What they said at work yesterday?
No, you got a bald spot?
Yeah. I'm not showing everybody, but
Oh, that's hardly any.
Well, no, but I went out into the sun, and one of the guys was like, "Oh, David, look at your dad's bald spot. That's coming for you." And I started laughing, and I go, "You want to hear a funny story about this bald spot?" And they're like, "What?" And I go, "Nobody in the house told me I had it. Like, I went this whole time."
Well, they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Right, and then I was getting my hair cut, and they normally do, the mirror, show
Yeah.
you the back, and I never really paid attention, but for some reason this time I paid attention, and I'm like, "Is that a bald spot?" And the lady's like, "Yeah." So I walked in the house, I'm like, "Why didn't you tell me I had a bald spot?" And they're all looking around like, "Oh crap, now he knows." Like, I don't care. It's once it gets this big though, it's all gone.
No, I don't like bald. I've not seen too many people that look good.
No, I mean not like bald. I'm
Oh.
gonna be like a number 1.5 or something.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Your dad always said that when he lost his hair, he was going to get a wig or a toupee.
I am not getting a toupee.
He said that when he was younger, and then when I point that out now, he says, "I never said that." I go, "Yeah, you did," because
Yeah.
he used to have like a waterfall, which was in style back then, and he would like with the spray, hairspray, and that, and he had to like the dip, and he was.
Yeah, me with a toupee, my luck, I'd be somewhere and it'd go.
Yeah, his biggest sticker shock was when he went to boot camp, and they.
Oh yeah.
But then he always likes when we watch Stripes because everybody's got the bald thing except for Bill Murray and what is his name? Eugene
Yeah,
Eugene Levy, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The other guy. They have like a regular
They
haircut.
have a regular haircut.
But everybody else got their head shaved.
Well, that was them in there saying,
Yeah,
no.
we're not shaving our
Yeah,
heads.
we're not shaving our
No,
heads.
we're not shaving our heads. See, I like the Stripes up until they steal the van or whatever that is.
There's parts, but yeah, it's.
Up until that part, then
Yeah.
it gets really. I mean, it's a stupid movie anyhow. But then it gets really stupid, and I don't
Are
like
you
it.
in my head? Because I was quoting that. Like every day we'll pick movies to quote.
Yeah.
And so it was the end of the day, and we've put up like, I want to say 85 sheets of 3/4 inch plywood on this deck. And I looked at Dave and I go, "You ever see Stripes?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, who hasn't seen Stripes?" And I go, "I think I speak for the whole platoon when I say this should be postponed until we're better rested." And so then everyone just kept doing their whole little things.
That would be a good line to have.
Yeah, so he's like, "I agree with you. And since you're one of the foremen," I mean, I'm not a foreman on that job. I'm
Yeah.
just working on that
Right.
job because their foreman left. So
Yeah.
I'm actually working. There's like Nick is the foreman
Right.
on it. They're like, "That's the best thing about working with a foreman. You got to do what he says." And I'm like, "I'm not the foreman of this job." He goes, "Yeah, but you can still stop whenever you want. Who's going to yell at you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's true."
Did you work with David today?
Not with him, but he was on that job, on the same job.
Oh, were you in Canton?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a ways.
You think?
You could have stopped by and seen your Aunt Barb.
I'm nowhere near it. Well,
Oh no,
I guess
that
I am.
Canton's not that far from her.
Yeah,
I mean, she's
I would have to go the opposite way to 94.
right because she's in Belleville.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's gonna do it for us. Jimmy's calming down now.
Calm.
He's got an easy drive home.
I do.
So-
I'm thinking about stopping and getting a haircut though.
You know, fix that bald spot.
Well, no, it's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow.
Oh, you should get your head shaved.
Well, it is. It's always a number 1 and then a number 2 or 3 straight back.
We'll see.
Easy.
Okay, if you're new to our channel,
Like,
comment,
subscribe.
share. See you tomorrow. No, see you next week. You'll see me tomorrow.
See her tomorrow.